Okay, I haven't heard any. John, do we have anybody with us out of France?
Mr. President, we do. Next, there's Jake Jorgensen. I believe he might be here for the Lake Elmo Airport.
Okay.
Engineer. I believe.
Yes, sir.
And then Doug Watershed, who's the property owner for C on the consent calendar.
Very good, sir. So, yeah, these are on the consent calendar. I'll certainly ask them if they have any.
Thanks a
But
lot.
with that said, no problem. We have a full house tonight, gentlemen. Need a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
It is approved. Okay, public forum. Anybody wishing to speak? Nobody with us regarding that, John?
Nobody is unmuted, so I don't believe they
Okay.
want to.
But they can all hear us fine. And just checking. Okay. So, not hearing anything there. Let's move on to the consent calendar. Before myself or anybody makes a motion, is there an item that anybody would like to pull?
I'd like to pull A and B, please, and I'll be with
A and B, very
A
good.
and G.
A and G, excuse me.
First and last. And I'd like to pull C.
C. Okay,
I guess I'd like to talk a little bit about
about B.
B as well.
D. Okay. Holy cow, is there gonna be any
Bravo.
left?
Is that B or G then?
Was that B as in boy or D as in dog?
Delta.
B is in Bravo.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay.
Charlie, Bravo.
Is that a different thing than Charlie
Delta,
Boy?
Echo, Bravo. All right, folks, cheer up. Here we go. So, hearing what I've heard, Mr. Bill, do you have any by chance?
No.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to make a motion to approve items. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
E, F,
D, E, F, yeah.
does that seem?
Second.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Thank you, Counselor. Second. It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Right, so let's move on. Let's go to item A. Who wanted to talk about item A?
I mean, I just had a little typo in Commissioner's last name. It should be Miron. Cameron. Yeah, on line 16.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then I just want to make a comment for the minutes of this meeting.
Yeah.
Where we list the roll call. So last meeting I said I wasn't gonna be here, but I am here. So maybe for next meeting, you can just list that I was present and that parenthetically I had a change of schedule. So in case anybody says, hey, the last minute said he was supposed to be here, you guys.
Yeah,
So
well,
just keeping the eyes done.
very good. All right, let's move on to item C. Was that you, Rick?
No, B.
Charlie, you had.
Are you doing it alphabetically or are you doing it another way? That's fine.
Go ahead, sir.
Go with Bravo. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I just wanted to check to make sure that what kind of connection there is between this permit and what we've done in the past with the evaporative ponds. I see that this is on the north side of the property and the ponds are all on the south side. And are there any other things that we should be concerned about regarding that?
President Rashawn's Secretary, Treasurer Gellman. So the past project from about 4 years ago, we're redoing that right now. They've submitted annual reports on how well the evaporators are working and the approved maintenance agreement that we have with them says that after 4 years, we'll review it and determine next steps. So we're reviewing that. That's separate than this project. This project, it includes runway reconstruction as shown on the site location figure in the permit memo. But instead of treating the runoff from that, they're treating the runoff in the northern part of their site.
Yeah.
So they're doing some trading, which is allowed under Valley Ranch rules. the benefit of doing that is that then they're able to infiltrate the stormwater. Whereas if they were to treat the runoff from the runway, they would not be able to infiltrate the runoff because of other state regulations regarding treating runoff from surfaces that are treated with chloride, basically.
Okay,
So this is actually, I think, a benefit, a better project than if they were to treat the runoff from this runway. But this is separate from the project from 5 years ago.
okay, okay.
Does that
Thank you.
satisfy you, sir?
Yeah, thank you.
Any further comments on that or questions? Not hearing any. You wanted to talk about the item Charlie, Steve.
That was me.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
And I just wanted to check, I believe I saw an email between Josh and the owner regarding the easement language. And I think on our website, the only official easement yet is the one that includes all the verbiage over drainage elements and all that sort of thing. And we talked about changing that to be more of a floodplain preservation easement only in these instances. And I just wanted to check on the status of that and make sure that we're able to do the floodplain preservation easement only on this one.
So President Marchand, Secretary Brock. Josh might have not have done a reply all, but we have had communications with the landowner. In fact, Floyd and I and Josh and the owners all met this morning to talk about some of the details regarding the draft floodplain preservation easement.
Yep.
And so they had some good comments that I think Attorney Kellum and Attorney Torsoth will update the draft easement with. Other things, I think it was just more of a clarification. But those documents, we haven't posted them yet to the website because we want to get them a little bit more finalized, and then we also want to get them ADA compliant.
Okay.
And try to have as few documents, but yet clear documents posted to the website so people know which things to use. And so we're actually meeting tomorrow morning to try to make it as easy as possible for them.
Okay, so for the approval of this tonight, is there any special wording that we need to add or to approve it as is, and then that would be able to be accommodated later? This is my question, I guess.
President, Secretary Brock, I think applicable standard condition number 3. It's the standard condition, and that says that Valley Branch should be granted drainage easements that cover the land up to 100-year flood elevation and use lows.
Right.
I mean, it says drainage easement instead of floodplain preservation easement. We all know it should be a floodplain, so I guess you could either change that if you're uncomfortable changing that, or just leave it the same. But we're working with the landowners to have a floodplain preservation easement.
Okay.
I don't think the language needs to be changed for the permit or the memorandum that's approved tonight.
You would prefer?
Do not need
Oh,
to.
do not need, okay, that's fine. Okay, we're good. I just want to verify that. Thank you.
All right, you are satisfied, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Item Delta, I believe, D. Oh, wait, that was approved, forgive me. Yeah, okay, so item G.
Yeah, so I was a little more enthused about this report than I have been in the past, so it could be that I just go back to my investigation and my batteries are going to be charged. But I did, there's mention of the relevant to what we've been concerned with chlorides. The study done at the U of M, and I didn't download it yet, but I did find the report for that pretty quickly at the Water Resources Center at U of M. But folks want to have a look at that. There's some other things in here that I thought were of use and relevant to us. But I also kind of noticed that, I know this group's been an awful while. I don't know how if they're always really productive or if they're really making a big contribution to what we need to do with stormwater management. But I did notice that in the list of contributors, we're kind of the least amount in the Watershed district. So I just kind of wonder if maybe in future years we could consider maybe making a bit more of a contribution. So, more with others about it too, and see if that's to do some money on that, so,
Good, a little research would help.
yeah, sure, yeah.
That's sufficient.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, very good, sir. So, would you like to make a motion?
Here, I'll move our, contribution of $4,000 this year to the, so Stormwater Research Council.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. All squared away.
We
Motion's
need
covered on
to-
everything?
We need to
Yeah, do those
move on.
motions on the other items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completed that. B, would you like to make a motion for B?
Do we want to just do all three of them? since-
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Move that we approve, the consent calendar items B, C, and D. I believe that's all at once.
I'll second that.
Okay,
Aye.
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 They are approved. Motion passes. Very good, gentlemen. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that, for the folks, if, the gentlemen are here electronically, if they can hear me, thank you for attending. We hope you are satisfied with, our decisions on this. Here.
Yes, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Mr. President, Mr. Lavacek, I think he dropped off, and so he may have missed the discussion. So you might want to announce that his permit was approved.
You
Okay.
can just give a thumbs up on
Oh, he did.
Teams. I saw a thumbs up icon, so.
We'll take a thumbs up. I use that frequently. That works. Thank you. Mr. Havlicek, thank you. Okay, updates and requests from partners, volunteers, and pleasure committee. Not hearing anything. On business and reports. Administrator engineer. Purple loose stripe biocontrol project. Sir,
Mr. President, managers, including the packet, is a memo talking about this project. Wild Rivers Conservancy is proposing a project that would raise purple loosestripe eating beetles and work with volunteers to release those beetles in waters that are infested with the purple loosestripe. They're asking for it's $3,500, and Valley Branch Watershed District has money in reserve to provide some level of funding at the manager's level.
there's no one here regarding that, but without knowing too much about this, this seems like you have a background that this is a worthwhile thing to do. And we know these beetles aren't going to become pests in of themselves, right?
No, Mr. President, these kind of beetles have been used for decades.
Great. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am, speaking to that, Ed, I do know people that have, Luke Skinner actually did his PhD on this, actually. Do you know Luke? So it's, yeah. And it's effective. And it's exciting when we have a control agent that's not problematic in other ways, but does what it's intended to do, control the stress. So, and normally I'm sitting here expressing considerable caution. I'm not throwing a whole bunch of money at a basic species problem, doing something that doesn't have very good yield, but that's not the case with this. So I'm pretty supportive of this.
Good.
Do we know if it requires a fairly dense amount of purple loosestripe for it to be effective?
My understanding is it does require some plants
Mhm.
in order to survive.
The beetles will die out if they don't have
That's
some.
my understanding.
Okay, and,
Seems effective.
okay,
Yes, sir.
I did notice on the map that Valley Branch has fairly high concentration of the
Yeah.
purple loosestrife infestation. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. President, managers, what's not shown on this map is South Washington Watershed District. Because the majority of South Washington Watershed District is in Mississippi rather than the St. Croix. But South Washington Watershed District is also interested in funding this endeavor.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Now, yes, sir.
Sure. Did you say they recommended an amount?
They're looking for a total of $3,500. They haven't told me how much other people have contributed.
So that would be our recommended contribution would be 3,500.
If you want to fund the entire amount that they're requesting of all entities, send it to 3,500. If you request fund just a portion of that, it'd be less than 3,500.
Now, Rick or John, what do we have in reserves for that? Because I'm gonna go out on a limb and suggest that we could fund the entire project. Maybe they say who funded it.
You have, I believe you have $18,000 after approving that consent calendar in reserve.
Another question?
Yes.
What is our education budget usually look like late in the year? Is it often like the money left in it?
There's often money left in it, but you also have some pop-up requests, so you never really know what to anticipate.
Well, I have a tendency to go out with the same one that is, hold on. It's something, the limb breaking with both of us, you know, on it.
The only concern
I don't pay as much.
I would have would be that, if they get all this abundance of money, what happens to it? Does it benefit the project?
Well, there's no concern for fraud, but I assume that they're going to create a healthy population of these arthropods.
Yeah, certainly we've got a significant concentration in Valley Branch.
I think it's got a really good track record of working.
Mhm.
Whatever. I don't wanna make a big deal out of an anecdote, but Little Pig's Eye there right along Highway 61. I would drive that thing back and forth. Yeah, full of them was completely ringed with when they started releasing the beetle with them probably, I don't know, it took a number of years, but there was like none of it. After a series of years of releasing this beetle, it was quite impressive.
Mhm.
So we're looking at 3,500, right?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I would like to make a motion that we fund the purple loosestrife fire control project at the amount of $3,500 from our 2026 education budget.
I will second that motion. It's been moved and seconded.
Oh, I had one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way where, since we're giving them that much money, that we can get some credit for that? I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I did make a comment earlier about some signage. I did make that comment, but I could be more vociferous about it.
Mr. President, managers, I'm not sure about signage. I did ask if Valley Branch were funding it, if Valley Branch water bodies would be prioritized, and they responded yes.
Okay.
There you have it. Good point. Good one.
And we could write a little VWD on each beetle.
And since John is putting together a
Laser
beetle,
Yeah.
put a bumper sticker. This is a different kind of beetle, but
Do we make a little teeny tiny version of our logo?
yeah, on each beetle, right? Okay. So it's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 It is approved. John, let us know what reply we get. That would be exciting to hear. Okay, that's where we are. Now, Counselor,
Yes, I have
sorry.
handed out a memorandum that I prepared just earlier this week when I received the second quote for an insurance policy to cover those landlocked properties that we acquired recently and will continue to acquire into 2026 here. I created just kind of a high level summary of the differences between the two policies.
Yeah.
hoping to get your input on them if you want any additional information, or if you're ready to move forward with purchasing these properties. I have a proposed motion at the very bottom of the page. Ultimately, the Kinsale quote is cheaper, but they have a fire exclusion for coverage, which was a little concerning to me. Maybe it's not a reason to have concern, but I did want to point it out. CSU does not have that exclusion to coverage. They also provide a breakdown of the premium exposure, which I'm told is a good thing in a case like this, where there's several properties and they might have different levels of premium that might be adding to the cost. So CSU is a little bit more expensive. This is an annual cost, but they don't have that fire exclusion.
All right. Is there any other information you'd like to provide us with, like a background, any history? These are viable companies that,
Both are viable companies, both come to us from the district's insurance representative. One thing I forgot to mention is that both of these companies are aware of the burning that's going to happen, and they're willing to accept or to grant coverage knowing that that's going to happen. Again, I just felt a little hesitant with the fact that Kinsale does not have, or they have an exclusion for fire-related damage.
right?
So that includes anybody who might be injured in a fire?
Correct.
Okay.
And it's even, it's any conceivable injury that can come from fire-related smoke, any of that.
Maybe they have stored fireworks in one of those. Just a thought, just to frighten me.
I like the idea of having the fire
Yeah.
coverage on there. If they burn down, who cares? But I mean, if somebody gets hurt, that's what we're concerned.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And fire seems to be one of the more possible types of events that could occur.
That seems to be the consensus.
Mhm.
Mr. Secretary, what's your take on the matter?
Yeah, I'm fine with the CSU policy.
Okay. Mr. Vice President.
I'm good. Yeah, CSU's fine. I mean, we're just gonna carry these until they're demolished, right?
I know. Yeah, so,
Correct.
simple enough. But this is, I'm telling you, I love when this attorney gives this cookie cutter. You got my script. With that said, I would like to make a motion to adopt the Cincinnati Specialty Underwriters Insurance Company to adopt the insurance policy for coverage on the recently purchased landlocked properties, and to authorize President Marchand, myself, to sign any necessary materials to purchase said property.
Policy.
I'm sorry, policy, forgive me.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded.
Aye.
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 Hi.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Thank you, Tori. That was very good. We appreciate that. Okay. Any other surprises? Everything okay? We're good?
Yeah, nothing else to report to you.
Thank you, Counselor. Mr. Inspector, Jeff.
I have nothing.
Okay, nice and quiet. I think, are those glaciers finally moving or what?
Which ones?
Yeah, everywhere on my street, yeah. Okay. Nothing. All right. Managers. Mr. Vice President, do you have anything?
Just as, we're getting ready for the legislative event next week.
Okay,
Brooke and I have an appointment set up, with John South, with Senator John.
okay,
Wednesday afternoon, and I'm. Kevin Matzik is trying to drum up support for, the, resolution related to self-insurance. To have watershed districts and WMOs included in that if they want to be self-insured, so he's asking me to try to reach out to Senator Seeberger. Which I already received a reply from her legislative assistant, schedule a meeting. I'm waiting to hear back from Kevin on that. So I thought if I'm gonna go talk to her about that, which doesn't involve us, I'll also talk to her about whatever we wanna talk to her about. Have we interacted with her very much?
We can talk about that after. the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you. Not hearing anything else. Sir, yes.
In the mail last week was this, it's called The Source. It's the Lake Elmo newsletter that they send to residents, and we got a copy. There are several things I thought I'd just mention. One is, they mentioned their legislative priorities when they met with with politicians. And I'll just read this real quick. At the top of the list was water quality and sustainability, reflecting Lake Elmo's continued commitment to protecting its lakes, groundwater, and natural resources for future generations. Leaders emphasize the need for reliable water treatment, long-term solutions, blah, blah. So that was one item. Another item, they had an excellent article here on use less salt this winter and you know, giving ways to achieve that, and really good article. And then the other thing, I was not aware of this, but the University of Minnesota has initiated a test plot in Lake Elmo on low input grasses that would require less fertilizer, and so runoff would be cleaner and that sort of thing. And the test plot is located at 120 Lake Elmo Avenue. And I don't know, maybe this summer or something, that might be something, or on our tour this fall, maybe that's something we could get somebody from the university to meet us there. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to make sure everybody was aware that that test plot is happening within the watershed.
Stand on the lawn.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
Very good, sir. That's useful information. Very positive. Okay. With that said, will the managers be able to attend the 12 and 26 meetings? 26.
I'm likely for the 26th. It's somewhere in the Caribbean, or that's rather indulgent, but they have good internet, so I'm pleased and I'll come back, but I think the thing to do would be whiskey as a meat.
In between your lobster bites or what?
I take it you're not going to be leaving Venezuela. Head out this year.
Nowhere near there.
Okay,
Probably
good.
near there.
Glad you're safe.
Oh,
I'm good for both.
yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, for your tax season.
Yeah.
It's been
Oh,
fun
yeah.
so far. Okay. One more item. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
This is moved in second.
Aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. We did the record, but you did pretty good.
What is the record? 20?
20.